Hello and welcome to the Heathen Wyrdos Podcast. For real? Okay, fine. Get the fuck in my lap then. Get up here. God. It was going so well. Okay. I'm gonna baby scoop you. Alright. You're gonna be this way for at least 3 minutes, okay? Alright. Hello and welcome to the Heathen Wyrdos Podcast. Today, we three weirdos will be talking about all things Love and Thunder. We will be spoiling potentially pretty much everything about the movie. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it yet or actually want to watch it, you should just not listen to this. Just run away. Go. Yeah. Just go if you want to watch it and haven't watched it. Anyways. Hello everyone that's left. Hi. Let's move on to our introductions. My name is Theo. My pronouns are they, them.
I'm Kenna. My pronouns are she, her.
And I'm Sif. My pronouns are also she, her.
I guess let's start at the top of it all. What are our opinions on the Marvel Cinematic Universe? How deep in are we?
I'm a slut for a Marvel movie. I have been watching them for so long. I need you to understand that I don't even enjoy Marvel comics as a whole. I'm a total DC girl. But the Marvel Cinematic Universe holds my heart in a strange way.
Yeah. I'm definitely more of a DC Universe person in general. But yeah, I really do enjoy the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's really about all I got on it. I don't know. I started watching it, 10 plus years ago, whatever it was when it first started coming out. Yeah. And discovered my strange love for Captain America, which is really odd because look at Steve Rogers. So straight-laced.
Yeah,
and
that's
everything.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, no, it is. And I'm also I'm a Lokian, which I didn't know that back then. But anyways, so
yeah,
it actually inspired me to start reading into Norse lore, which surprise, surprise, that's actually a pretty common thing. But I hadn't rewatched a lot of it until Love and Thunder came out, and I was like, I should watch some Thor movies. I started watching, and I was just like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
I am enjoying these as movies, but also what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. It's no secret that I'm a comic book nerd. And...
Are you?
Oh
what?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I know.
Just please take me seriously right now.
Yeah. DC and Marvel both. I have a particular obsession with Captain Marvel, not Shazam, Captain Marvel of the Marvel universe.
You do?
I know. Gasp. It's a thing. Help me.
I don't think I can.
Help me.
I don't think I have the power.
It's 2019 was a ride. And that was the year that Captain Marvel came out, and I pretty much can't remember most anything else apart from Captain Marvel for that year.
Incredible.
Your last year of non-global situation life.
It's just, which is funny because I also got engaged that year.
I was taking a drink of coffee.
Sorry.
It's fine. We love you, Dan.
It took us 5 minutes to break, Theo. Fantastic.
Was it 5 minutes?
I feel like it was less.
So.
Yeah, I think we've been doing this officially for 2.
Yeah, let's say
sure.
that. But yes, if it's a comic book movie, I'm watching it.
One of my friends, this is mildly a tangent, got mad at me when I was in college because there were Marvel movies and things that I hadn't seen. So I have a list in my phone called Movies Trey is Mad I Haven't Watched Yet that I slowly check off when I actually get
So-
around to watching things.
So what you're saying is you're pulling the modern day Steve Rogers.
Basically.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and I haven't seen all of them. Like, I haven't seen Endgame.
What? You're missing out on 6 minutes of Captain Marvel.
I know. If don't be mad.
Okay, you haven't watched Captain Marvel, have you?
I haven't.
I also haven't seen it. Is it on my list?
I'm not angry. I'm
Yes,
just
it's on my
disappointed.
list. I am working on it.
It's on the list, Sif. I'm sorry. I have to play
It's
so much
literally, like-
Pokemon.
It's on a genuine real list. It's not. I'm not brushing it off with, oh, it's on the list. No, I have a list and it's on it.
Look, Bjorn yesterday showed me up.
Mhm.
Okay, Bjorn is very good at technology, and like I thought I was, and now I'm like, God, I suck at this. Just like I should fix that because I was like, oh, I want one of those Pokeball things, like the controllers for the game. But looking everywhere in the US, it's like, oh, you can pay $120. And I'm like, bitch, please. That's not happening. And Bjorn was like, why aren't you looking at eBay? And I was like,
Mm.
they found me multiple options for like $40.
Bless him.
Oh,
Maybe,
damn.
maybe with shipping, it's 50, 55-ish.
Mhm.
But I'm like, I look at eBay for bicycles all the time, guys. I know how to use
Oh, you're a
eBay.
professional.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me in that regard. Where I'm like, oh, why don't I use eBay? God fucking damn it. Like,
You're so professional at all times.
Yep.
Hashtag not sponsored.
It's literally not sponsored.
God, if no, can't. Okay.
Anyway, sorry. Okay, so we all Millie,
Mm-mm.
this is where she lives now. I'll just have to look around her floofy. Just have to look around her floofy butt at my computer. Okay.
All right.
So okay, we have discussed our love of Marvel Cinematic and comics and other things that other things.
We're a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like how do we all approach like the Marvel Cinematic Universe or similar franchises that use the gods as figures of entertainment? Like what do we think of that? Do not sit on my keyboard, Millie. Okay,
Millie
no,
has a
you-
lot of thoughts about this.
You have lost desk privileges. Not that you ever had them, you just kind of took them.
But they're gone now.
Yeah. You've been baked.
I'm fine with it.
With the
Is in the
whole
question.
movie about gods things.
Yeah, I'm fine with Millie using desk privileges.
Okay. I mean, okay, so I'm also fine with it. I don't take the stance that deities are necessarily sacred in that way, that nothing should be written about them or imagined about them. Like, I'm sure there are cultures that that's not a thing that's okay, but I'm not talking about those cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, I'm fine with it. Like, what do you think some of the lore is? Why do you think Snorri wrote something about Loki and Heimdall fighting as fucking seals? Okay, like,
Damn you, Snorri.
yeah,
Like, yeah, it's not new. It's not new.
yeah.
It's our whole mythos is this. It's all fanfic. Snorri's just the original fanfic author.
Yeah, essentially. My stance on it is that it's helped introduce a whole new generation, several generations of people, not only to Norse mythology and the figures within Norse mythology, but also potentially started them on their path to heathenry and paganism.
Right.
So I think it's done more good than harm, I would say.
Yeah, I think the main thing is not to make a tangent analogy, but the same way that movies made from books are never as good as the book itself, you have to be able to just pretend that they're two different pieces of work.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's different. It's okay that they took creative license and left Freya out, or didn't mention, or did the blood brother thing wrong, or whatever. It's fine. It's creative. It's allowed.
And Loki and Thor are brothers, and not Odin and Thor. Loki.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Hel is just another sister.
Just a sister who's a bitch that can create gigantic swords out of thin air.
Yeah.
I'm the goddess of death. I kill everything. That's not what that means.
Yeah.
I do enjoy Hela's character, though. I think it's quite delightful in the movies.
Oh yeah, she chewed the scenery the heck out of Ragnarok. It's just glorious. I guess. I mean, I did put a note here about there is a sort of weaponization of people thinking, like, as good as it is that it has introduced people to the gods and all of that, I guess there is the flip side of that coin, which is people, like, for instance, when I introduce myself, they go, "Oh, like the movies." I'm like, no, I don't worship the Thor, like movie Thor. There is a separation there, clear distinction.
I did appreciate the Lady Sif came back in this movie, though.
Oh my, yes,
right?
Yes.
I was like,
I
oh
thought
thank
of you
God.
the whole time.
I was so pissed that they might have just killed her off in Ragnarok without, like, showing it.
Yeah, she deserved better.
She did, and she got better.
Yeah, and she's now wearing her comic accurate outfit, so I'm happy. I was very, very, I'm a really bad cinema goer in the fact that I was like, Sif!
You just yelled really loudly.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Admittedly, it wasn't the busiest screening, so I thought I could do it, but I got too excited. I mean, like, compared to Endgame, where it was like me and a collection of other, like, Captain Marvel fans who, like, full on cheering.
Okay, look, I've gone to an in-theater movie marathon that was over 20 hours of Star Wars movies, including...
Oh, damn.
Which, like, was the premiere for episode 7.
Right, yeah.
And they did 1, 2, and 3. Not gonna lie, it started at 3 a.m., so I definitely slept through 1, because fuck that one. And was so excited to see the original 3 on the big screen. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, packed theater full of Star Wars nerds, some who chose to wear Stormtrooper outfits for the entire 20 plus hours.
Smart.
Like, just, like, don't, like, I hope that you have plenty of padding and baby powder in there.
Yeah.
Just, like, fuck. Because we're talking like the hard plastic shell Stormtrooper outfits. But
yeah, no, they committed.
Plenty of cheering at points and stuff. Anyways.
Oh dear.
The other thing that I like about the Marvel gods is that it makes it really easy for broom closet peeps to get things like Mjolnirs and stuff. I straight up have a Mjolnir keychain that is from the Thor movies. It's from the first Avengers line of merch, and it sits on my little shelf, and it makes me very happy. And it's a genius sidestep.
We just talked about how much I love what they did with Mjolnir.
Yeah. What, the sentience?
Well, okay, first off, the sentience. Second off, the fact that, like, it's still super strong, but it's also broken, so it's basically like
a fucking grenade hammer.
That, like, goes both ways. It's fantastic. Love that. Whatever the fuck the axe is called, that I can't remember the axe.
Stormbreaker.
Thank you.
Stormbreaker.
It's not even a Norse name. I should remember it. But, like, Stormbreaker is just a crotchety bitch.
It's almost lost bitch. Because of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
Stormbreaker, get over yourself.
Yeah.
Also, hashtag animism.
Yeah.
Correct. There was a lot of animism in that movie.
Yep. Anyways, sorry. Okay. Looking at the notes real quick before we get too far ahead of ourselves.
There was, when I went to the Jorvik Viking Museum, I was wearing my Mjolnir during that. It was quite interesting to get kind of, like, I was like pointing out other people's Mjolnirs because there was some like really cool historical ones, especially ones based around the finds in Jorvik. And one of the guides went to me and went, "Oh, you know, your Mjolnir, you wearing Mjolnir?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I see a lot of those around. I like to call them Thorians."
Oh, Christ.
I'm
And
crying.
I was like, "Cool."
Cool, great. So I'm gonna walk away now.
Yep.
I'm just
Yeah, cool.
Thorians.
Bye.
Okay.
He was like the guide that puts us on. There's like it's like a it's not a roller coaster. It's like a slow moving. Looks like a roller coaster seat there, and it kind of goes round.
Yeah.
So it was a case of I had to just kind of like gingerly get onto the thing, and kind of go goodbye.
Just hold it together until you're out of sight.
Yeah.
Okay, Thorians.
Thorians.
All right.
How about you, like Thorsons?
Thorsons.
Thorsons.
Like you know how like some people like do like
Thorsons.
oh calm
Oh yeah,
down.
they just decide that they're an Odinson now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, yeah, like
But
Odin. How people are like Odinson, Thorson, like meaning like I'm a son of Thor.
Yeah, but Thorson did that first and tainted it for everyone.
That's how that's okay. So I'm not gonna lie, every time, and this is a personal thing, this is not an official thing whatsoever. Every time I see someone that has adopted the name like Odinson or Thorson, I get real nervous.
Yeah.
Because like one, Thorson and all that bullshit and racism and bigotry. I don't edit that out. I know Thorson has adamantly been like, I'm a good person and stuff. I'm like, yeah, you still openly promote the AFA. Okay? Calm down. And McNallen. So calm down. Like, do some self-reflection. Anyways, focusing. Like Odinson, I'm like, oh, are you an Odinist?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's valid to worship Odin, but I'm like, are you an Odinist?
Yeah. I guess it goes without saying, but the caveat is if they're actually Scandinavian.
Okay, yeah. Like there are some like I've had teachers
It's like sus.
like well in my like high school or middle school or I don't know, element. I don't remember which year of school it was, but I had a teacher whose name was like Thorson. Like,
That's pretty badass.
Like legal name. So it's like, yeah, obviously like that's what I mean where it's like people who legit just adopted the name for themselves. Like it's their heathen name or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna talk about the movie again.
What? Movie? There's a movie?
This was...
Is there anything important
again.
from the previous Thor movies that we should hit on because we didn't exist when they came out and we have thoughts?
Oh, I have so many. I'm gonna let everyone else go. You might cover it.
My only sadness is that there is no Freya.
Yeah, basically. Or like the Valkyries are all killed off.
Yeah, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
Valkyrie doesn't have a name.
Right? I'm also...
You adjust your job title.
I'm also just kind of crabby that, like, okay, I like what they did with the remaining Valkyrie. Like, that's cool. But also, I dislike that this entire fleet of really badass women was just fucking killed off and it had to be fixed by a man.
It's fine. There's no rage burning in my heart.
Like, and it's like a fucking army of badass warrior women who are like notorious for being like top-notch warriors. And it's like, oh, we're gonna let a man fix it. I'm like, don't you think like, okay, I'm not saying the Valkyries had to win every battle, but like more than one of them would have lived?
That'd be cool.
Or like,
Yeah, no, totally.
I also dislike the narrative that so at the very beginning of Love and Thunder, it shows that Thor was like raised to be in the battle, and he's like in like a baby Bjorn papoose, not a papoose, like a baby wearing kind of deal, and like I assume it was Frigg running into battle with him strapped to her chest.
Yeah. Oh my god, I got
Which
such a laugh.
was hilarious, but also like in comparison to that, did like the Asgardians just decide that they shouldn't subject their children to battle early, like as infants, or what? Like, because no shame on those children. That scene was amazing where they had a battle, but like they didn't know how to fucking fight, and a lot of those kids were like 10 to 14. I'm not saying they would have been badass warriors, but they could have done something.
Yeah, but like, where's the continuity?
Yeah, right.
Do we
That's
carry
what I
babies
mean.
into battle, or are they useless? Pick
Well,
one.
but there's also like where it starts like Hela's like, oh, you guys are so weak, much weaker than I am, which is fine. I don't care actually that they couldn't defeat Hela like on their own. But it's like why did the Asgardians become so weak?
Yeah, power level consistency is an issue.
Yeah. So it's like yeah, just like, okay, so they're super weak, like Thor's a bitch baby, even though so like to me that says that like they were stronger when Hela was like at Hela's time or before, and then like we're still super strong at Thor's time, but not as strong, and then like the next generation is just not. It's like,
yeah, it's weird.
Like this is really conflicting. Like conflicting to the point where it actually took me out of the story.
Yeah.
So like yeah. That's what I got. Kenna?
I was just mad. I've consistently been sad that there is no Freya.
Yeah.
I get that. I wouldn't even care if they like combined. Stop it. Okay, get in my lap. You can get in my lap. Thank you. I would have been more okay if they had actually like openly combined Frigg with Freya, even though like full disclosure with my UPG, I used to do that.
No!
Calm down. I'm working on it.
It's valid.
And I was like,
It
Freya
is valid.
and Frigg
It's
are the
valid.
same, and I just call her Freya. And then Frigg tapped me on the shoulder and was like, I was like, I am so sorry. I will not do this again.
Funny.
Yep.
It's
I
fine.
have tons of questions. Okay, I guess to kind of cut into we were going to do a synopsis, so I'm going to cut into that. Essentially, at the end of the movie, this is a big sticking point, I think, for all of us. Post-credit scene, second post-credit scene, is that it's revealed that Jane Foster died and went to Valhalla.
Cool.
Well, okay, and obviously Heimdall is there because he died in Infinity War,
Right.
which raises a ton of questions about the past and figures that have died in the past in battle. Are they in Valhalla? For example, Frigg, is she in Valhalla?
Right.
And if so, why was her funeral such a big deal?
And also, do the gods go to Valhalla? Because lots of gods have their own halls after death, question mark.
Yeah.
Well, Heimdall at least didn't.
Right. Well,
It's
and like I
fine.
had so many questions about it. Okay, also, I'm just gonna say it because we've talked about Jane dying. I feel like Jane dying was the biggest cop out ever.
I hated it.
It was
It was a total
stupid.
cop out. Like, if they had led up to it more functionally, but we got one hint that Mjolnir was making her sicker, and then boom, dead.
Right? But also it's like, she's got cancer, so she's gonna die. And it's like, okay, like, that's a really weird plot point. Like, couldn't she have just died in battle?
No, that would be too easy.
No, she's
But
got
they wanted
cancer.
to do the stronger woman. They wanted to do a strong woman angle, and they did it poorly.
Yeah, they did.
I get that it is, as soon as I was hoping for the Mighty Thor to be a multiverse version of Thor, And as soon as I saw like the kind of hints at the Jane getting cancer storyline, which is from the comics, and I
Right.
totally appreciate that.
Okay,
I do
fine.
love that storyline. As soon as I saw that, I kind of thought, oh, she's going to be dead by the end of this.
Yeah.
And this also ties into consistency again in the fact that the MCU has already established it's got its borderline miracle medical stuff.
Mhm.
It managed to extract the Power Stone. Not the Power. Was it the Power Stone? Yeah, it was the Power Stone from Jane in Thor 2. They've done other things far more impressive. And admittedly, yes, the Asgard's been destroyed, and probably some of the tech has been destroyed as well. But you've got the entire universe at their disposal. And it was still a case of, I'm sorry, you're dying. There's nothing we can do.
Right?
Just pat her on the head and go, here, good luck.
Or the fact that, yeah, like Thor could go to the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm sure they know someone somewhere. Like, that's one of the reasons I'm like, this is the biggest cop-out ever. You could have even
There
added
are ways
something
around
like just because it's like it seemed like Jane was desperate for a cure. So if Thor had asked like, hey, do you want to go into space and like find something? If like Thor had asked that and Jane had said, no, I'd rather stay on Earth, like, okay, even though that wouldn't really make sense for the story.
But at least it would make a reason.
Yeah. Like, it's like, okay, you cannot tell me that there's not some planet Thor is familiar with that could cure this easily. He's in some pretty advanced he's been to some pretty advanced civilizations.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like
100%.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm like, this is a fucking cop-out. Like,
Cop-out. It wasn't even like the only way out.
it wasn't.
If they just wanted Jane out, they could have put more than 10 seconds of thought into that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and
also, not gonna lie, when they went into the eternity, or to eternity, that's what it was called, right? Mm-hmm. Eternity. Like,
yeah.
I honestly, like, the daughter was already dead. I don't see why they didn't just wish Jane back.
Because we had to give Gore what he wanted somehow, question mark, story arc.
He was done. They could have waited 5 more minutes.
Oh my god.
Also, do you know
literally, no, you have a point, because if Gore had literally just picked Gore up and moved him, it would have been fine.
Exactly.
But we had to give someone a chance for personal growth, and it fucked us.
But do you know what also I fully expected and I'm really disappointed didn't happen? I really expected them to get into eternity and find Loki sitting in there waiting for them.
That would have at least been funny.
Yeah, right? Just like, oh, hey, I already used this wish. So, or like, hey, not even that, like, hey, I tried to use it already. Turns out Dad used it a long time ago for X reason. So
that would be such a
I got stuck
twist.
in here after that. So just been waiting for someone to come around. Like
on a similar note, Loki, is he in Valhalla?
Right?
He died technically in battle against Thanos.
He did. He died in battle. Like
is there a difference between died as a result of battle versus died in battle? Because I remember this is a thing that is now grinding my gears. Thor straight up tells Sif, honey, you're not getting to Valhalla. You're not dead, and the battle is over.
Yeah.
Jane died after the battle was over.
He did.
Yep.
What is the criteria?
I remember thinking that, being like, what?
I also hated that entire
held
scene.
In the arms of your boyfriend. That's not Valhalla.
It's not battle.
And I get why they did it, but also because obviously it's informing the audience. But did you really have to throw Sif under the bus to show the stupidity? Like,
oh my god, they made her look so stupid.
How did she not know? How did she not know the criteria for going into Valhalla?
Right?
It's like, oh, silly me, I forgot that you have to die during battle.
Shit, you're right. And it's like, god fucking damn it, guys.
Could you not have done this another way?
Also, I'm fine with Sif only having one arm, but yet again, Why don't they get her another arm from one of their many sources that is reliable?
Yeah, I refuse to
She'll get
believe
another
that
one.
Asgard doesn't have fucking
Or
prosthetics.
you know what? Thor
come
got
on.
a fucking eye.
Yeah, she will get one.
Okay, good. Because, I mean, yet again, she can
Need
have
her
only one
arm.
arm, but, like, having one arm is inconvenient. Like, I'm sure we might have someone listening that only has one arm, and I'm not shaming you, but, like, we're talking about a universe full of robotics and really advanced tech.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. We're fine.
Anyways.
Okay, so we have thoughts about Valhalla. Clearly.
We do. It was dumb.
Yeah,
It was heavenized.
it was
heavily.
so heavenized. They freaking
Kenna.
showed up in white robes.
They did. Kenna,
Yeah,
are you playing with cards or filing your nails?
I was playing with cards, but I know they're loud, so I'm gonna put them down.
I love you.
I got frustrated and I needed to shuffle something.
It's fair. Shuffling is valid. It's just... Millie, calm your bab-ass down. Calm the bab-ass. See, it's fine.
Important. Okay. Oh, Valhalla. I will never not have thoughts about you.
It was very clouds and white robes and being greeted essentially at the gates. Yep.
Yeah, literally. It was fine. Everything was fine. I was so grumpy.
I'm upset. So, like, okay, the Valkyrie... Did they name the Valkyrie?
No.
Me?
No.
Okay.
They called her Val.
Fine. Did Val... Like, it's... Oh my god. Tiny baby asshole. You're fine. Anyways, so, like, I remember, like, it was weird because, like, I don't know, I guess maybe she discovered her reason for living because, like, I remember her being like, I'd rather die in battle. I want to go to Valhalla and be with my sisters. I really miss them. And it's like, then she's like, suddenly like, oh, I can't die in battle. I can't do that. And I'm like, I mean, I guess you can't because that means Thor would be left in charge. Can't have that.
Which is a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem, actually. Like, do you want Thor to be in charge? I don't. Like, and maybe she realized that and was like, I have to live, actually.
Before I forget, we should probably also mention that in the myths, Mjolnir doesn't have the unpick up ability. That's not a word. Anyone can pick Mjolnir up in the myth.
Oh, yeah.
Really like that.
Unpick up.
I like that only some people can pick up Mjolnir in the movies. It's funny.
The whole worthiness thing is kind of hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense in comic context because it's like very dramatic and cool. But I'd never considered it mythologically until you said that. I'm like, oh, that's true. We don't have that.
Right?
Otherwise, the giants wouldn't have been able to steal it.
Maybe they were worthy, Sif.
They were.
Maybe.
I do appreciate in the Marvel movies that Thor is a total dude bro. Total himbo of a human being. And I think that's correct.
I think so too. I do
100%.
hate that Thor is seen as less godly and less strong when he has a beer belly.
Correct.
Yeah.
I hate it because, like, honestly, like, I think that does fuel some people's view of Thor because they're like, oh, this, like, ripped person who honestly really just looks like a bodybuilder in a competition. Like, where it's like, do you know how dehydrated he must be?
Oh my god.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So it's like, if you actually, like, we're not gonna get too far on this tangent because, like, if you look at, like, God of War Ragnarok, that depiction of Thor, he looks like a strong man in that. Like, strong men who lift, I don't even know how much weight, it's well over 500 pounds. Like, kind of thing. And it's like, yeah, like, they just need the body mass to support that ridiculous amount of muscle that's really functional. So it's like, honestly,
that was when I don't remember the name because my brain is chaos. When that movie came out, one of the things I enjoyed about it was that they made a point of making sure that Thor was still worthy even with the beer gut, which is such a stupid thing to say out loud because, like, your body has nothing to do with your worthiness as a human person. But at least they put it on screen.
I still don't like that, like, a chunk of the first part of Love and Thunder was Thor getting back into shape.
Yeah.
And getting back into shape.
After a really rough breakup or whatever.
I appreciate... I don't know where I was going with that. It was played for laughs in Endgame.
Mm-hmm. It was.
And obviously that felt a bit shitty. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, when I was watching Love and Thunder, there were parts where I was like, oh, that's the Thor I know.
Mm-hmm.
In that they've managed to, despite the fact that not everyone, some people seem to hate the kind of post Ragnarok version of Thor where he's more comic relief.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely digs a little bit deeper into how I imagine our Thor to be in terms of very much protection, but also a laugh.
Everyone that I know describes protective older brother, and like, he's gonna spit spitballs at you through a straw, but he's also not gonna let anyone fuck with you, and that Hemsworth very much captures that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So. Yeah, and to be honest with you, there were parts of that movie where, as a heathen, I was just enjoying just the vibes, the kind of just his characterization of it, where I thought, that I can see elements where I can connect the two Thors, as it were, and be like, oh, that's quite cool. Like, I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Oh no. The thought flew away. Yes, I remember it. You want to know what my favorite part of the movie was?
Yes.
Was that Thor got his goats? And they were screaming goats.
They were so loud. They were so absurd.
They're my favorite
I love
characters.
them.
Favorite characters.
Yeah. Like, I know a few people have said that they kind of outstayed their welcome. I don't think so. I was laughing my head off every time they were on.
I will not deny that they forced comic relief into situations as a means of transition. I get that got old. And I laughed every time. So, and I'd be mad.
I'm gonna butcher his name, but it's definitely, to me, apparent that it's a Taika Waititi film.
Yeah.
He was the director for this, and this is very much his style.
Yeah, the undercutting.
Yeah.
I think that's probably my biggest issue with it, is that the serious moments weren't allowed to breathe before they were undercut with comedy.
Right.
And I think, as much as we hate the storyline, the Jane Foster cancer storyline really gave this could have gave this film depth and like a real heart to it. But every time that it was allowed to linger on it for a moment, we had this massive tonal shift. And ultimately, this is carried on throughout the entire movie in that we have big moments of upset immediately played off with comedy.
Right. And if we had allowed these things to breathe, that end scene where Gore's like, but the gods couldn't save you either, would have actually made sense as a plot point.
It would have.
Yeah.
Like, it's also, like, okay, so I have no problem with Jane having cancer in this story. Like, honestly, I'm really okay with, like, a superhero having cancer. Like, I think it's really important to acknowledge cancer, like, and it happens, and it doesn't matter who you are. And we could have had so much more, like, a proper, respectful, like, view of it that could have been tied into the story. Instead of Mjolnir making her more sick or something. Like, I mean, I guess I get that, where it's like Mjolnir turns you into this super deity and stuff like that. So, like, obviously that's going to put a strain on your body, which, like, might make you worse faster. But, like, I really feel like it could have been done in a more detailed, well integrated, and, like, really enlightening way.
Yeah, because it kind of felt like a very loose plot point right up until the end.
Yeah, which is why
It
I
was
say,
just like, yeah.
yeah, which is why I'm like, Jane dying from cancer was a cop out, because like it was like a side piece to the story almost.
Mhm.
It's like Jane can have cancer, but I want to see a much more nuanced perspective that's tied in much better.
Yeah. I do find it funny though that we had the cough cough I'm dying from Gore. It came out of
It
nowhere.
was real brutal.
I know they said about the kind of necro blade, if that's what it's called. Kind of like ultimately resulting in death, but it was just the idea. It really just he was doing fine, completely fine, and then it was like they're having a moment. And he's like, "I'm sick."
Again,
just in the corner.
if they had allowed any seriousness to remain, the parallels between Gore and Jane were there for a reason. The tool that they were using for power was making them sick, and the gods couldn't save them. The parallel existed for a reason, and they just never bridged it.
Mm-hmm.
Right up until the end, there was one line, and Gore said out loud, "The gods can't save you either," and that was supposed to be the connecting piece.
Yeah.
Pop out.
Like, okay, I respect Taika Waititi, even though I might be butchering his name, and I'm sorry. And I just don't feel like this movie was appropriate to be one of his films.
No, I get it.
I didn't hate it.
It was funny. I laughed.
It was. Like, I laughed a lot. Like, if Taika Waititi wants to direct the next film with the daughter from Eternity and stuff like that, like, I think that would be really funny and really great.
Yes, when it's focused on a child, the undercutting would make sense.
Yeah, like, and stuff like that. But it's like this whole story of cancer, and like it's not even just that. Like, it's got a lot of really heavy points in it. Like, Asgard
the whole
has
death of the daughter in the beginning, the whole crisis of faith when Gore meets his god and his god goes, "Nope."
Well,
like, there's a lot of depth there.
I really wish they had shown more like visual cues of the Necroblade hurting Gore.
Yeah.
Like, if like
I feel like there was a lot.
Yeah, like, and stuff like that, like, as he was using it, like, if, like, lesions would open up on his arms or something like that. Millie, I'm having a serious talk right now, dear. Thank you. Nope, come here. Keep coming over. No.
I think Thor looked like a Party City nun. I was so supremely disappointed when the whole like transformation happened, and I looked over at my friend and went, "He looks like frickin' Voldemort. He looks like a Party City nun."
He looks like Voldemort in The Nun from The Nun in the Warren horror movie series had a baby.
I just expected so much more. Granted, I was not familiar with this story arc at all from the beginning. So my friend was trying to explain to me this fancy necro sword like devours your soul from the inside out and corrupts you. And knowing the previous iterations of Thor movies where they focus really heavily on this like black metal kind of intense vibe, I fully expected something more along the lines of Lobo from the DC universe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I was really sad when we got Party City Nun.
Valid.
Yeah.
What? I was a little sad that, and I get why they couldn't be from Asgard, but Thor's goats weren't Asgardian.
Sad.
Just some rando planet.
Yeah.
I was actually really bothered with that beginning section where we get Gore's backstory. Because what if we didn't have asshole gods? I don't know a single god who would just like flick someone in the forehead and tell them to fuck off like that.
That it did rub me the wrong way a bit, just because I guess, to be expected.
Yeah.
I didn't know for that to be the first scene, and I didn't know whether they were going to go all in on gods are assholes. I know we couldn't really have that because of Thor
Right.
and
Just other
Valkyrie and
gods
all
are
of that, but
assholes.
Oh,
it kind of rubbed me a little bit the wrong way.
I know, I was trying to make a
because
joke
I was
about it.
predicting.
Because those beginning
Yeah.
scenes, like, dude kneels in front of rock in the middle of desert. I'm like, yeah, nope, that's paganism. That's correct.
yeah.
And then immediately we get, like, asshole god. Like, fuck.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
And that was really amplified during the Omnipotent City
Yeah.
section.
Yeah, the whole idea of it being
Where
called
it seemed all of
Omnipotent
them were.
City is
Yeah.
like just thumbs down on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, and I can imagine the Hellenic polytheists among us are not going to be happy with that depiction
Oh, I
of
wouldn't
Zeus.
be either. That
Yeah.
was like, I was okay with the orgy joke because I
Yeah.
enjoy making fun of my gods. But
Mhm.
oh man, they really went in on
They
Zeus.
really did. Well, and it was kind of funny
Oh,
because
yeah.
Zeus is like floating on his pedestal, literally. And like there are all these like gorgeous women around him and stuff like that. And I'm just like, where the fuck is Hera? Like,
Yeah.
matter, not
I was
the point.
trying to figure out which one it was.
Well, and I'm like, there's no way Hera's okay with this.
no.
Like,
She just doesn't attend the meeting. It's just
like honestly, it would have made more sense that like while they're battling them, Hera comes in and steals his thunderbolt and fucking shanks him with it. Like, just like, what the fuck is up with you? And then like they're fighting and like Thor and crew like grab the thunderbolt and like sneak away.
I just nope out. It
Yeah.
was really cool. Though the graphics were a little weird on screen. The golden blood that Ikor as they were fighting, that was
Yeah.
cool. That was fun.
Yeah.
so cool.
I personally, as the resident omnist, was very much excited about all the different gods, and even the idea of the gods from different planets, gods from different universes showing up was really cool, because sometimes people say things like that. Like, I don't know the answer, but maybe.
Yeah. Bow
Does
God.
anyone,
Was it Ninny the Nonny?
does
That was
anyone
great.
stay awake at night wondering what the Valkyrie did to the mood gods?
We don't know. The mood gods.
Now I have
I
questions.
do too.
It's
I'm
not
like,
the point.
where,
It doesn't matter.
where are they?
They just left. They're in the bathroom.
They went to Valhalla.
I vote they went into Valhalla.
Okay, that's another question. Do other gods go to Norse Valhalla?
I don't know.
Everyone goes there,
What are the
apparently.
rules?
Find out.
Okay.
Died slightly after
Okay, so
Valhalla?
many-
Maybe.
I think showing Omnipotent City is going to, if they want to have some sort of continuity, is going to cause spanner in the works in the future.
Oh, it's going to cause
and that you've now
problems.
introduced the existence of all of these gods, even Celestials. We saw those, and I guess I also had an issue with Zeus being the most powerful and the oldest god. I was like, that's not even true
Not even remotely true.
in the MCU
He's the-
universe. I was like,
he's the youngest sibling.
yeah,
He is.
it was,
No, you're right.
and it was a case of he got, we thought he was dead until the post-credit scene.
His
I was
death is
like, well, that
meaningless.
Well,
yeah, but I was like, we've seen gods go down with way more difficulty.
Well, I
than
didn't even think he was dead at all because they say that gods
No.
can't die. I
It's
can't remember if they said they
meaningless.
can't die or be harmed at that place, and it's clearly they can be. Or Thor just likes to break the rules. I don't know.
Fair enough.
But also, okay, as someone who's worked in medicine before, the end scene with Zeus where like his handmaids or whatever we want to call them are just like sticking their hands in his wound. And I'm like,
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
gods. It's fine.
it's gross.
They don't have
It's
germs.
so
No, they're gods.
gross.
What a job.
Just
The germ
find
gods are there. They said no.
pour some wine in it or something. I don't know.
I love that wine is legitimately a better option than just sticking your hand in.
I mean, probably a little.
Technically.
Depends. When
Could be
were the
worse.
hands
Just
last
anything
washed?
with alcohol.
Like, did you spit in the wine? Like, I don't know. There's so many.
There's so many
So many
variables.
variables.
And I think it's going to be fun to see this continue because we know they're setting up for a Hercules versus Thor situation, which is just going to be a great time for pagan spaces all around.
I'm not even gonna start on how I didn't like the depiction of Hercules.
Oh, it was boring.
It was. Like, I hope
He's pretty boring in the comics as well,
That's
though.
true.
sucks. I really
I'm not sorry for saying that.
I want Hercules in this movie to have like a fucking lion's mane for hair and shit. Like, make him
come on.
interesting.
But he can't look too much like a Viking because that's Thor's deal.
Space Viking.
Fine. Make it a curly lion's mane. It'll be fine.
I would love like a really intense, you know, the old statues of like Apollo and stuff with that really intense curly hair. Come on, commit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that's what I mean. Where, like, I'm talking like coils of hair, like down to past his shoulder blades, like lion's mane.
Please, because you know what that would set up? A hair pull fight between the two. Like, come on! If we're gonna undercut serious with comedy, do shit like that. Also,
I really want Hercules to have that hair, but I also want him to be sensitive because, you know, if you run your hands through like textured hair, it just fucks it up.
It just pulls.
And I want Thor to pull Hercules' hair and like stick his hands in, and Hercules to be like, "Bro, you're fucking with my look." And he has to like put his hair up.
Oh yeah, the Hellenists are gonna have a great time with that.
They're already screaming, I'm sure.
I mean,
okay. But then again, most comedics weren't aware of Moon Knight.
Right.
Oh, they need some consistency here because Bast was also in Omnipotent City briefly.
She was
briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're opening the doors
she looked
for a lot of things.
like. Yeah, but we know that from Moon Knight, the gods have animal heads.
Yeah.
Bast didn't. She had like a cat.
Maybe they're setting up for like a
thing.
multiple MCU thing. I don't know. Maybe they're just not talking to each other.
Really?
Yeah, potentially. So I was expecting full cat head.
Yeah, they really need to.
Maybe they should go look at what DC did with Arrow, Flash, and all of that and figure out how to make multiverses work.
Or maybe they should just talk to Disney. What have we done before?
Incorrect.
Let's look at our lineup here. See what we got going. Turns out Oscar Isaac's in like 50% of it, so they have to work on that. Like, really?
Okay. We did have a
okay.
ship called Aegir, which was hilarious, and I laughed too hard at it.
Yeah. I was like, I appreciate that.
The whole New Asgard situation, hilarious.
Nice.
Yep, especially the Infinity Gauntlet ice cream shop.
Oh my god, so funny.
Nice.
Hello.
I need Deadpool to come into these movies.
Yep.
That was allowed.
Oh, he will.
Come on.
Millie agrees.
Millie does. Millie
there were a lot of like really good mythological references that just popped up. They made me giggle. Like the goats. I was very excited about Thor and his goats.
Well, I was like, Thor's got his goats, and then they started screaming, and I was like, yes.
Even better. That's so Lokian of you.
I love them running, like, with pulling the ship on, like, the baby Bifrost hunk. It's like, oh, this is, like, Thor's running around with screams and a rainbow.
Yep. Oh, the movie was so very gay. I loved it.
I needed all
real
to be
vibrantly sexual.
I loved all of that. I was like, yes, please, more of this, please.
Like, I really want, like, I need Thor's goats to be pulling whatever, like, strange portable home that he's in with this child on the Rainbow Bifrost, just screaming, and they've, like, soundproofed the inside of the van. So like they're in there and like it's quiet and they're having a conversation. Then it like pans out to them running along. And it's just like the entire way.
I need that. I need it.
All right. So and Millie, please don't. You were being all nice and quiet up until this moment. Love you, baby. Anyways, so in Thor: Love and Thunder, there is something that we talked about separately that we kind of wanted to talk about, and that is Astrid. So, well, Axel, but formerly Astrid. So, as Kenna can attest to, Astrid is a feminine name. So we kind of had to talk it out because it is a little ambiguous. But Kenna, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So my family is from Sweden. My grandmother came over on a boat, did the whole thing. Astrid is traditionally a very feminine name, and it's a very old name. It's along the lines of like a Gertrude situation. It's old. Everyone has a grandma named Astrid. I don't know what it means. I probably should, but what I do know is that it's as far as my grandmother knows, because I asked her just to make sure that I wasn't being a jackass. And she told me that it is a feminine name. She has never heard of a boy being named Astrid.
Well, I'm guessing the beginning bit just means God, right? So it's just whatever.
Likely. I'm going to look it up now.
Because it's like us a true belief in the. So it would just be.
Finally beautiful.
Okay. So I heard that, and I think I do acknowledge that it's a little ambiguous, but I'm pretty sure that Astrid is. Here I go. I am pretty sure that Axel is trans. I feel my theory is that, like, I guess if we're going on that, the dead name would be Astrid, and they were, because there's some insistence in it, like, but that's a great name, that's a strong name, and it's like, that's my impersonation of Thor, by the way. So, but like my thing is like it might be a family name, or also like a lot of like Norse people took a lot of pride in their names. Like a name was a very proud thing to have. Maybe I think some people still have it today, especially in some cultures. But like, I'm in America. Like, come on, we don't do that here, really. So like, the Bible.
Yeah. I'm so sorry that I knew. I looked up the name Astrid and its meaning, and immediately Google recommends, what does Astrid mean in the Bible?
Is Astrid in the Bible?
Oh.
I don't know.
Meaning
There's a lot of people in the Bible. Anyways,
back to the point. Theo has a good point. I'm being a goblin.
No, you're fine. Sorry, yeah, kind of put a little screenshot of like people ask, what does Astrid mean in the Bible? And I was just like, no, I don't know. Someone will probably be like, Astrid is definitely a biblical name. Whatever. Anyways. Sure, yeah. So it is a bit ambiguous in the movie. Like, it's never really fully addressed. Like, I've looked out for articles and stuff like that, and there's only a couple that, like, suggest it. I'm pretty sure it's ambiguous on purpose.
Yes.
There's the
Irritates
point,
me.
like, oh, is it though?
It's...
I guess we're going with one of my... Sorry, I had a list of points. So,
yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna say its muddiness is both a blessing and a curse.
I don't disagree with that. So here's my thing. Like, have you guys ever seen Our Flag Means Death?
It's not available over here yet.
Get a VPN, Sif. Get a VPN. It's delightful. Tico Waititi's in that as well, and now I'm trying to... Will help me. So, take. I can't read the name on screen, and I'm sure I'm also pronouncing it wrong. But
Taika Waititi.
yeah, Taika Waititi is also a director in that. So here's Our Flag Means Death also has a trans character, and it has a lot of LGBT representation, but it's not like they're gay, they're trans. They just go with it. It's just there, like, and they live their lives, etc. Like, so as someone who's non-binary, I kind of appreciate that, where it's like they don't have to scream they're trans, they don't have to scream they're gay, even with the Valkyrie, like how she is flirting with women, and I mean even like enjoying Thor's clothes being ripped from his body by Zeus. Anyways, so like that's the thing where it's like if it's just there, it can be more normalized, but also like on the other hand, it's like, well, still fighting for equality, like being seen as a person. Millie, what are you getting into over there? She's fine. Being seen as a person and like struggling to be seen as quote unquote normal. So like I do see where it's like it would be kind of nice if it was slightly more in your face.
Yeah.
But like the Marvel Cinematic Universe also is published. You don't publish a film, you release a film.
Yeah.
I'm doing great. Doing so great. Anyways, it's released in a lot of areas where being LGBT, forget about even just being trans of some flavor, like is illegal or extremely frowned upon. Like, and it's really popular. So I could see how it's like trying to sneak some of that under the radar and stuff. Without like people throwing a massive hissy fit, like trying to normalize the idea without being in your face about it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, you know what? Who knows? Maybe they did have a scene and it was tossed onto the cutting room floor for time. Like, it's quite possible. But yeah, I guess like to me that would answer why in the beginning they were calling Axel Astrid. Like, let me look at my notes just a second. Also, you know what? I kind of assume that Astrid is a name of one of Heimdall's 9 mothers. Like, it's quite like being named after one of your grandmothers. Like, that could be pretty cool, and that might, like, to me, that might show, like, I don't even know Heimdall's 9 mothers' names. Do we know Heimdall's 9 mothers' names?
I feel like we do.
Maybe we know
we just
some of
haven't.
them.
Yeah, it's like Bilge, Fron, Bara, Kolga, Una, something else. But we don't know.
I love that you just
what I'm
have
saying,
that.
But what we're saying, what we're thinking about is those are the names of Aeger and Ran's daughters. That just happen to be 9 of them. So obviously we're inferring that those waves, the names of the waves, as it were, are in fact Heimdall's 9 mothers.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
there is a leap.
I'm on Wikipedia. I'm going to preface this with that statement. So, God knows if this is accurate. Gods know if this is accurate. That one, yes.
I don't know if they even do.
I mean, probably not. So, none of them are named Astrid. It's like Engea, Atla, Isla. I'm butchering all of these real bad.
Ergiatha, meaning possibly sand donor?
Scar donor?
Could be
like
either
Scar
sand or
donor.
scar.
Yep, I can't. Okay.
Well, Aistla is potentially something about testicles, so clearly we're just...
Well, that's interesting.
The meaning
Anyone
is
that knows their
obscure.
Greek
Section
mythology.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Anyways.
Suggestions include the stormy one or
Oh, so
testicles.
like Rota.
I like
Fantastic.
Stormy
Okay.
one. Like, I don't know.
Point.
Anyways, you can look this list up on Wikipedia. I'm sure you can. Anyways, so none of them are Astrid. So, like, maybe it's like, oh, I don't know. There are 9 mothers, so there's like a lot of potential for great grandmother. Anyways,
There might be a name Astrid along the family line somewhere. There we go.
And of course,
I don't know.
MCU isn't beholden to the mythology that we actively have. They might theoretically in the future
Right.
reveal that Heimdall's 9 mothers have more modern Swedish names.
yeah,
I don't know.
because like, okay, like, and
Like
they're having
Gertrude.
mercy on.
I like
Fuck.
Gertrude.
They're having mercy on people like me who look at the names and are like,
That's the sound of Theo's loading wheel.
yes, just needs coffee.
Buffering.
Yep,
Buffering.
it sounds like The Grudge. Anyways, so I
Flying ant. God,
What the hell?
being invaded.
guess, are you just reading the definitions of the names now, Sif?
No, I do have a flying ant right in my peripheral vision.
You're like, no, there's actually a flying ant
There's-
here. Jesus,
There is literally
Wonder
a
if
flying
it's a
ant right
sign.
there.
that Ant-Man has
Wait,
come
what
to
does the names
visit.
mean flying ant? Jeez.
Oh, maybe it's a sign
huge.
that it's Heimdall's aunt, Astrid.
Oh,
There we go. Yeah, we'll go with that.
I'm a
Can you please decide
professional
on the
pagan.
direction?
Oh god. Okay. Anyways, so long story short, we're pretty sure that Axel is trans, and that's totally fine. Like, it's ambiguous. I think it's ambiguous on purpose, especially because we know of like other things that Taika Waititi has done that have less in your face trans people and like gay LGBT plus representation. Also I highly recommend watching Our Flag Means Death. Definitely do that. It's great. I'm not sponsored at all. I just what is there a gender
Can you
neutral is there a gender neutral phrase for fangirling?
Passionate person.
Fan
Like-
personing.
I'm fan who Millie. She's just like she just jumped onto my shoulders and like started licking my face. Anyways, Millie is an acrobat. I'm fan humaning hardcore over Our Flag Means Stuff. I've watched it a couple of times through and probably gonna do it again. Anyways, I do think that Thor Love and Thunder does have a fair amount of LGBT plus representation in it, even if it's not like in your face. I really enjoy it. I think besides the screaming goats, it was my favorite part about the film.
Yes.
Screaming goats will always hold a special place in my heart.
So valid.
Yeah.
I love the goats.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that's all I have. Do you guys have anything you want to add?
No, I think you covered it really well.
Yeah. Yes, Seth?
I did have some nothing we can get into. Just I feel like otherwise we could be here for 5 hours.
I was going to say, I
Of
was like,
just
we have
differences between
less
the
than 5
MCU.
minutes.
So we have another
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. We'll get into it at a later date.
I mean, we can... I love you, Seth.
Okay.
I appreciate you, and I would gladly let you go on this. We have less than 5 minutes.
That's fine. We could skip. Brain check.
Brain check.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to do the sign off?
Oh God. Okay. Millie, please, you don't need to be on my face at this moment. Millie's like, but I do. Anyways, sorry.
FaceTime.
Literally FaceTime. Anyways. Oh God, how do I sign off an episode? I know how to do this. Anyways, thank you all for joining us today. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to put them in the comments below. we'd love to hear them or try to answer them or think about them, are, we have a Redbubble. It will all be listed in the little box beneath the video. We also have a Patreon. Please come join us if you are willing and able to. Able and willing? Whatever. And we would love that. We would get to help. Like, we have live episodes sometimes. We get, like, give more input, like, let you pick a little bit more about episodes. And yeah, we have a Discord. It is free. We'd love it if you join us there. We have fun. Yeah. That being said, don't forget to weave the connection between the like, subscribe, and bell button. And remember, keep heathenry weird.
Hey.
We need to put a poll up on Patreon. We haven't done that in a little bit.
We're professional.